Greetings, Love Posse. Can we really talk about unity and oneness when proponents of Eurocentric spirituality appropriates other cultures' spiritual practices without acknowledgement and excludes them from the conversation? Every major system in the Western world, especially in the United States, the educational system, medical, banking, political, news media, entertainment, and even spirituality are white-centered and colonized focused. Have you heard these phrases? Love and light, we are one. Eurocentric spiritual spaces, organizations, conferences, trainings, workshops, retreats, educational and academic programs say they are about unity. But what if they're built on exclusion? Today's conversation: where's the unity in Eurocentric spirituality? Let's look at Eurocentric spirituality and, as a group, Afrocentric, Indigenous, Aboriginal spirituality. Eurocentric spirituality structure is linear, it's hierarchical, it's authority focused. Those in authority determine who has the authority, the expertise. I don't like that word expert, but the expertise to speak on the topic of spirituality. And they determine who has the authority based on who is certified or degreed from their programs, who attends their programs, their workshops, retreats, who completes their academic programs and trainings, who's certified by them. Those people are determined to have the authority to speak about spirituality, which is given to them by the authority, so-called authority of spirituality. Those who are part of their cliques, those who apply to and pay for membership in their organizations, their associations, their special private clubs. Eurocentric spirituality is exclusive. Afrocentric, Indigenous, Aboriginal spirituality structure is circular. It's inclusive. There is no authority. If you are born with, if it's your nature, it's within you. You have the voice to speak about spirituality. There's no test, no skills to learn, no certifications. The people can see the gift within you. It's gift focused. Eurocentric spirituality, generally speaking, men are the wisdom keepers. Afrocentric, indigenous, aboriginal spirituality, generally speaking, the wisdom keepers are women. Eurocentric spirituality. You can learn from me. I am the teacher. Afrocentric, indigenous, aboriginal spirituality. We can learn from each other. I am because you are. We're all teachers. A couple weekends ago, I registered for an online 2-day spiritual conference. The topic interested me, but I wasn't necessarily interested in the conference. The only reason why I registered is because my guidance told me to. When Spirit tells me to do something, I do it because I know there's a reason. So register for the conference, and I attend the opening meditation. It didn't do anything for me, but I felt I needed to go to the website. So I go to the website, I look at the agenda for both days of the conference, and immediately I noticed there's no representation here. No one here looks like me. So is this space meant for me? That's what I thought. Then I realized I know why Spirit had me register for this conference. Because I needed to realize, to recognize that Eurocentric spirituality dominates spiritual spaces, dominates the study, the field of consciousness and spirituality, so that I could have this conversation with you today. I also thought about this. The Greeks and Romans were influenced by ancient African civilizations, especially Egypt, also known or called Kemet. They were influenced by their science and astrology and spirituality. So how can we have these conversations about spirituality and consciousness without everyone represented at the table? So when I saw the speakers of this conference, I knew I had to talk to you. I knew I had to say something about unity and oneness How can we have unity and oneness? How can you preach unity and oneness if you're excluding other voices, if you're excluding other cultures, especially the cultures in which you are appropriating spiritual practices? Here's the issue. Eurocentric spirituality is white-centered frameworks. It's appropriation of indigenous, Afrocentric, and Eastern practices without acknowledgement and representation. It's white-dominated academic and certificate programs, trainings, workshops, and retreats. Language. Here are the contradictions. These spaces preach oneness, but uphold racial and cultural exclusivity. Love and light is weaponized to avoid accountability or discomfort. So, how can there be transformation, growth, and expansion, unity, healing, and forgiveness? Why this conversation matters? Because there are consequences. There are consequences for excluding others. There are consequences to maintaining a white supremacist form of spirituality. It alienates the BIPOC communities. It creates a spiritual trauma of invisibility and erasure. It dilutes and poisons and contaminates spirituality and consciousness. It doesn't provide a true picture, representation of spirituality, and it exposes Eurocentric spirituality as performative and surface level. It doesn't build bridges. It destroys them. It doesn't bring people together. It separates. You can't build spiritual unity on top of colonial foundations. This is what unity looks like to me. It's inclusive, it's decolonized, it's community-rooted spaces. It includes all Black, Afrocentric, Indigenous, Aboriginal, Eastern, and other global ancestral traditions. It's built on equity, truth, and representation. This is not about division. It's about truth and healing. Because spirituality is truth, and we cannot heal without truth. In closing, I ask all of you to reflect on this conversation, to come together with other spiritually like-minded people and discuss this conversation. Dialogue is needed for us to change. We must change, transform, grow, and expand. And that means looking at what I've shared honestly, without spiritual bypassing. I ask and invite workshop, retreat facilitators, coaches, healers, thought leaders, spiritual teachers to examine your spaces, to reflect on this conversation. I ask you to please share, comment in the comment section. We can learn from each other, but we have to talk about it. We must talk about the tough topics. That's the spiritual path, not avoidance, because it's uncomfortable. Remember, real unity is possible, but only when everyone has a seat at the table. Thank you for your time, Love Posse. Peace and love to and for all sentient beings.